his best days have come and gone.
Old and in the Way Sisters. Laugh and learn with me, Janet.
And me, Nancy.
The Bitchin' Sisters, as we tell it like it is, the way it was back then and the mess we're in now.
We're growing old in a new world with skyrocketing costs, crazy fashions, changing norms, and I hate to remind you, with limited time left,
Yeah.
we've got some practical ideas that might work for you.
And we definitely have some opinions that you might have too.
We'll entertain you and inform you. Let's look back at how it was and ahead to what's coming.
And if you're young, maybe you can learn something from your elders. Supposedly we're wise, but we've definitely been there and done that.
That's when you're a, guess what, senior citizen.
Oh, it sounds really great.
Yeah. I asked some 5-year-olds, and they had a contrasting viewpoint. They said it's looking pretty darn good. Oh, they said because if you're 100 or 200 or even 102, then you're old. Though I did get a few who thought 14 and 23 were definitely old. How about that? Physically, they have observed old people as those whose skin is, and I quote a 5-year-old, down and old and wrinkly, with their arms and legs getting longer. So I looked at my arms and my shoe size has increased. If you wear glasses, one 5-year-old says that means you're old. And another offered, well, like my great grandpa, he doesn't do much and his cat is always hungry.
Yeah, right.
Very observant.
That's a sign. My great-grandson asked his father if Grandma was alive when the Titanic went down.
Well, yeah, figuring out years and looking at people, it's hard to figure that out when you're young. If you're looking purely at physical change, the typical answer to this question is usually when you lose your hair.
I still got my hair.
I know, I still have mine, but for some disposed to baldness, that can happen in their 20s.
Yeah.
Does that make them old? And what about when their hair turns gray? Hell, I dyed my hair for decades and nobody thought of me as old as far as I know. Nobody called me madam.
Ma'am, yeah, right. They thought it perhaps.
Our mother, I remember her saying that she hated getting old because her face gained jowls from loosening of the skin on her chin.
I always said that your face falls off your skull.
Oh, ick.
Ick, right.
Well, she never mentioned any other consequence, but I have lived long enough now to have broadened her statement. I think that you start to look old when all those brown spots here, I'll show you mine, you show me yours, they start showing up on your hands. I have a tan, so you can't see mine very well. And like I said before, the young children have the pleasure of pushing on your veins that are now sticking out on the backs of your hands. Like a teenager, your voice starts to change.
By cracky. Yeah, right.
Your height decreases.
Yeah.
And your shoe size increases.
And now Mark says I wear 36 long for a bra.
No,
yeah,
no way.
He can be cruel.
Well, walking changes from a gait to eventually, though not for us yet, a shuffle. I don't like to see those shuffling people.
No.
And you no longer choose sleeveless dresses
and
blouses to wear because of the sagging arm skin. I'm giving all those away as I speak.
And no cleavage. No wrinkled cleavage need be exposed.
Exactly. Arthritis produces bulging bumps around your joints. I've got some on my fingers. And your God-given body is exchanged for bionic parts ad nauseum. You know, I've got a bionic knee, 2 hips, and I've got 6 magnets in my neck. And I always tell my other half, I've got more balls than you because it's all these magnet balls. And he said, that's okay. If I get mad at you, I'm going to take a big magnet and drag you around the house.
Oh, God. Okay, wait. Some of our listeners may not realize why you have a ring of magnets around your throat. Around your throat.
Acid reflux started to deteriorate the lining of my esophagus. And I said to the surgeon, I didn't even know I had a lining. And he said, well, you almost don't. And so in order to save that lining that you have left, we've got to do something. So it's a new thing, and they insert magnets around, about 6 of them around your esophageal part of your body. And then it causes the acid reflux to stay down.
Oh, okay.
And the other option that you have is, I can't remember the word, of course, but it's when they bring part of your stomach up to make it so small that you can't vomit anymore. And I said, well, what happens to the vomit? Does it come out the other side? And they said, no, that would be like a long trip through your colon. So you just deal with it. You can't vomit when you're sick. And Medicare will pay for that. Yeah, but it won't pay for the magnets because they said even though it's been around about 10 years, it hasn't been around long enough for them to say, yes, it's okay. So it cost about $5,000 to $6,000 for that operation that you have to pay out of pocket.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So.
But then, as we all know, Medicare, they don't think that old people need teeth, eyes, or ears.
Yeah.
If you're elderly, you know this. You know this.
Well, and so does your insurance company.
Right.
Anyway, nighttime driving has also become almost impossible for me. I see too much glare, even though I've had surgery on my eyes. I still can't drive at night very well. And my body hair, that's been slowing down. I haven't shaved under my armpits in years.
No, neither have I.
It's been wonderful. But now I'm finding hair under my chin and on my cheek.
Yeah, I know. This is horrible.
In the worst spots. I met a woman 5 years ago.
Okay, I'll admit, I have gray pubic hair.
Oh, no. Mother
Not
never
that
told us
anyone's
that.
looking.
I wanted to find out, not about you, but in general, if when you get old, your hair in your pubic area turns gray. I really wondered, and I never dared look at Mom. So now I know from the older sister.
Yeah, right. Well, it's coming for you if you get to be my age.
Thanks. I met a woman 5 years older than me this weekend, and she told me old is when you look frail. That is, like if we touched you, you'd fall over due to the lack of strength
Yeah, right.
to endure any pressure on your body. Well, that's true. Don't you think? No?
Well, I don't think I'd fall over.
Well, some people are very frail. You're so skinny. I'm pushing on you now, but you're in a chair.
Yeah, this is weird. And I didn't plan to get this skinny. This just happened. In fact, I got so skinny that my doctor ordered a stomach scan, and nothing wrong. I just can't eat a lot. But I'll be shopping with Mark in a big store, and if we get separated, he will come up to people and say, tell me I've lost my wife. If you see a scrawny old lady who looks like she might hang out with someone like me, tell her where I am. And they come to me and they say, oh, your husband is looking for you in aisle 5 or something.
Funny.
Yeah. But you either get big or you get small, I think, when you get old.
Exactly. Big or small, you're going to get one of them.
And you can't do anything about it. Well, as far as I know.
Well, beyond the physical transformations, there's also the monetary ones, and the socioeconomic. You're old when most of your extracurricular activities involve a clinic.
Yeah, God.
Woo, we get to dress up. You're old when sex is just a pleasant memory. Not too old, though. And you're old when you have a shrinking income, like we've been talking about, while the rest of society gets pay hikes.
Yeah. I can't even believe what people are making now. I mean, I think it's great for them because things cost so much, but yeah.
You start paying attention to Frugal Friday at the movies, and you cut out coupons for the grocery store. The number of friends you have dwindles, but the number of funerals you attend grows. Most likely your best friend is a cat.
Wait, we just got we got a senior dog, an 11-year-old dog, and okay, I am a little ageist. Is that the word? Yeah. I thought, well, when we get this dog, I like to go on walks with the dog. Will I have to carry this 11-year-old? But she is so frisky, you would never believe that she's as old as she is. But, we wanted a senior dog because how long am I going to be around to take care of her? And then we have 3 cats too, and you kind of worry about them too. But
Yeah, you take them on as your responsibility.
yeah,
And that's why we had a wonderful Basset named Sam I Am. And when he passed, we said, well, we're at the age where if we get another dog, it might end up at a shelter because it's old and nobody is going to take it, just like us. Who's going to
right,
take
yeah.
us? Listen, that reminds me. When my husband died, he was 52 and I was 50. And I thought, who is going to want me now? I went out and got a boob job. And guess what? I'm with someone 10 years younger. It must have
Well,
worked.
I'm amazed that that's what happened. I remember when he died, and you lost 60 pounds. It was such a shock.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there was
I said it was the diet nobody wants. It was just
yeah,
the stress of
and I
it all.
also saw that when you lost all that weight, you looked years younger.
Yeah.
And that's when I went on the South Beach diet. And I thought, I'm gonna just lose some weight and see how that goes. And it for me, I lost like 35 pounds at that time. And I've kept it off, but that was what, 20 some years ago. Now my weight loss is just, I'm just not hungry. But yeah, it happens.
Well, I have to tell you, I like George Carlin's idea.
What?
He said when we should live life backwards, starting with death and ending with an orgasm.
Right, that's gonna happen.
My mom, or our mom, never would have told us that about getting old. She left it as kind of a mystery to grow into. Well, Mom, I have to say, I agree with George.
Okay. Well, and we are just old and in the way. Music by Hall and Sidnor.
Poor old John, his best days have come and gone.